Hey guys, I'm back from the World Series of Poker and my Vegas trip. I had intended to do a vlog every 2-3 days. I made the first one, which you guys have probably seen, about getting to day 2 at the Venetian Seniors. I had all the filming done to do a second one, and then my phone decided to do this. So I spent the next 4 days in Vegas without a phone, without my video, without the pictures I took with people and friends. So discouraging. So I did want to give you guys the results though. The Venetian Seniors made it to day 2. I went out 132 out of 1503. Buy-in was $600 and I cashed for $1246. Second day simply went card dead. I shoved all in the second hand, and I only think I won about 3 or 4 hands the entire day. I got short stacked and had to shove all in and didn't make it. The next tournament I played was the World Series of Poker Seniors event. Now last year I finished 44th for about 14K. I was hoping to do better than that. I bagged and tagged and made it to day 2 with just under an average stack. I got a really bad beat on about the 3rd or 4th hand from bagging up, or I bagged up for about 140,000. Instead, I bagged up for, I can't remember, 28,000? Yes. I got a table change early in day 1, and it was started off as a horrible table change. I think I went to the table with 15,000 chips, which was above average. I ended up going to the dinner break with only 6,400. It was just awful. But after the dinner break, I absolutely caught fire. Second hand after the dinner break, I got pocket kings. We got it all in. The other person, I think her name was Della, had pocket jacks, and I doubled up. I then stacked off another guy, and I had maybe 22,000 chips when I played probably what was one of the biggest hands. So blinds were 200, 400. I had 22,000 chips, and I had ace king of hearts under the gun. I made it 1,100. 2 players later, the big stack of the table, I think his name was Robert Schulman. It was Schulman. He ended up finishing in the top. He final tabled. Anyhow, he had a big stack, way more than me. He made it 2,800. Came all the way to the button, and the button shoves for 8,000. Now, the button was a relatively loose player, and I thought he could be just trying to pick up the chips. But I had to be very, very worried. It wasn't Robert. It was Joe Schulman. So I had to be worried about Joe behind me. So now I have to make a decision, and I'm not going to call. So I either have to fold or I have to shove. Well, you know what? I didn't come to this tournament to fold ace-king suited. So I shoved it all in for 22,000. Joe tanked for quite some time. Eventually, he folded face up ace-king also. The other guy had pocket 8s. So it was me against him, and a king flopped, even though 4 of the aces and kings were already out. And that made me go to 38,000 chips. Then I stacked another guy off just a few hands later, and I got to 45,000 chips before I went to that table that was just incredibly difficult. But I thought that was a good example of how you have to make decisions that are tough decisions, but sometimes you just have to play big pots. If you're going to win, if you're going to do well, you can't just go to each table with an average stack or with 15 or 20 big blinds. You just can't do it. You've got to be able to put all your chips in, and ace-king suited is about as good as I'm going to get, so the chips are going in. So why don't you guys let me know what you think of that. You're in a big tournament, you get ace-king. What do you think? There's a You raise behind you, and all in, and then it's you. Do you have the guts to do it? Mr. Bill does. Of course, I've gone out with Ace King lots and lots of times also, so maybe it's not always so smart. I don't know. I have to say, I've played in probably, I don't know, 8 to 10 World Series of Poker events. As you guys have probably heard me say, or brag, or whatever it is, I made it to, I came in 9th in one event, which was a 6 max. I have never played at a table as tough as I played at the end of day 1 in the seniors for the last 3 hours. I mean, those guys were tough. Now, it didn't help me that average was around anywhere from 25 to 30,000. My stack was maybe 32 to 40,000, and I was the lowest chip stack at the table the entire time. Very, very aggressive. Guys with lots and lots of chips, and it was a tough, tough table. I was really proud of myself and happy that I made it through that table and was able to bag up at the end of day 1, because literally the toughest table I've played at in any event. So day 2 was a little bit better than Venetian day 2. I lasted about 4 hours. So I got knocked out just before the second break. There was a record field of 5,918 players. I came in 418. Tournament cost $1,000, and I cashed out for $22.92. It's okay that I won money, a little bittersweet. I was really hoping to make a much, much deeper run, but, you know, tournaments are tough, so I probably should be happy. On Sunday, I played in the Arias Senior, $470. I did not cash. I went out 100 out of 503, and you just would not believe people were playing like their hair was on fire first 2 or 3 levels. In fact, I'm not going to share many hands on this vlog, but I have to share this one. We started with 20,000 chips. I'd already stacked one guy off. I had maybe 48,000 chips. I get pocket queens. I raise, and a guy calls me. I think blinds were 200, 300, and there was a button ante, which I absolutely love. Oh, that was a fantastic tournament. I wish they'd all do it that way. Anyhow, I think I raised to 800. Guy called me, and the flop comes 764. Anyhow, he checked. I bet pretty good. I bet like 2,100. He raised me to, I don't know, 4,500, and he only had 12,000 chips total, so I shoved all in. I pocket queens on a 764 board. He thinks about it for a minute, and he calls. And he turns over 710. I have pocket queens. He said, I thought you were just bullying because you were the big stack. Oh, my goodness. Well, of course, you know what's going to happen, right? So, like a deuce on the turn and a 10 on the river. I would have had 70-some thousand chips in level 3. And instead, I was back to starting stack. Now, I chipped way back up, and I was doing really, really good until we got, after the dinner break, I started getting a little bit short. And I had 8 or 10 big blinds and ended up having to shove all in. In fact, I shoved all in against the guy I played with at WinStar. At Choctaw during the tournaments. And I shoved in with ace-8 suited. I was on the button. Everybody had folded to me. He turns over pocket aces. So bad for me. Unfortunate. But that's the way it goes. Tournament poker's tough. I actually played very, very well at the Aria tournament. I was very unlucky in a few hands, but hey, that's, again, tournament poker. So I was proud of my results there also. Cash games didn't go quite as well. I about broke even. In fact, I think I lost $15. That includes cash games and single table satellites. And I did okay. I mean, I thought I played really well. I had one really bad beat at the Venetian and one bad beat at the Rio. I think I sucked out on one hand also, so that made one of those even. I played well. I was happy with my cash game. It just didn't, the results weren't there, but that's okay. In fact, this has been a very, very strange year from a cash perspective. I've been playing 2, 5, and 5, 10 mostly. I play a 1, 2 at my league night, but whenever I go to a casino, 2, 5, and 5, 10. My largest loss for the entire year, however, half a year, is only 1,100, but my biggest win for the entire year is only 1,000. I mean, that is so strange to be this late in the year, and my biggest wins and losses are relatively very, very small. It's been a very, very strange year. Okay, so here at the side here, I'm posting my results for the trip. In total, I won $1,453 for the 6 days. Didn't really meet my goal. My goal was to win at least $5,000. So it's disappointing on one hand, but on the other hand, anytime you leave Vegas and you have a profit, you probably should be pretty happy. Playing with some of the best players in the world, also some of the worst players in the world, but playing with some of the best players in the world and being able to make day 2 in 2 out of the 3 tournaments I played in, I was pretty proud of myself. I actually played very, very well this week. I tighten up during the big tournaments, and it's hard for me to do that sometimes, but I stayed disciplined, and I did the right thing. Maybe I should learn that for my $65 or $100 tournaments that I play in. If I would just tighten up a little bit, maybe I'd do better. I don't know. But I was very, very happy with how I played. Not necessarily happy with the financial results, but again, it wasn't too bad either. So I got pictures with lots of people who either recognized me or when they saw my card or my chip, they looked at my vlog and they said they would join or subscribe or look at them or whatever. And unfortunately, I lost all those pictures when I lost my phone. I didn't really lose my phone. My phone went swimming because I jumped in with the phone in my swimsuit. That's not a good idea. Don't do that at home. That's a minus EV play right there. So I did want to give a shout out to a number of people who paid a little bit more attention to my vlog or or my play or whatever. Megan, she played cash game with me. She also said hi while I was in the tournament. KJ, Matt, Captain Mike, those are some of my buddies. Larry from Louisiana. Larry was awesome. He offered to get me an Uber ride, but then the guy came and they were doing a pool and it was too busy, so I didn't get to go. But anyhow, Larry, great meeting you. There was a whole crew of people at Planet Hollywood that I played with that were really nice, and a lot of them said they would watch my vlog. If you watch my vlog or if you see this one, comment and let me know that it was you that I played with. And there were all sorts of people at the Rio who gave me a shout out and said they liked my shirt and they had seen my vlogs and were appreciative, but I didn't get pictures with them. It wouldn't have mattered anyways because I don't have my phone anymore. I am going to look to see if I can get a backup off of Google Drive, so maybe by the time that I make this, I'll actually have pictures. So some of the coolest things at the World Series this year were I ran into people who I either admire their game or I appreciate. Mike Sexton, fantastic ambassador for poker. Got a picture with Mike. Grant Denison, he's one of mine and Billy's absolute favorites. Grant and Jonathan. I talked to Grant for a few minutes. He was going to play in the double stack. I hope you did well, Grant. But he's a real nice guy. Dan Haymiller, World Series of Poker bracelet winner, and I've played with Dan a number of times. I played with him last year at the seniors when we got down to day 3. I also played with him at the WinStar main event. Dan's a good guy, so it was fun getting a picture with him and talking to him for a little bit. But most notably, I got a real nice picture with Andrew Neeme and Brad Owen. I got to talk to those guys for a few minutes. They both said they either knew of me or had seen a little bit of my vlog, which I appreciated. Andrew told me that there was an article about the WSOP vloggers for 2018 and that I was in the article. I had no idea. So I was glad that Andrew told me that. I'm going to post a little link probably here or somewhere to that article, and I only have about this much of it. Everybody else has this big article. Mine's little, but at least I'm in there. So it's kind of fun. It was done by Poker News UK. Cool stuff. But that's one of the greatest things about being at the World Series, where you have pretty much the entire poker world coming together at once, is you get to see guys you've seen on television or people who you either admire their game or their work. And I really appreciated all the guys I ran into. So I didn't do a whole lot of hands on this one, but I think maybe I will do some detailed hand analysis with my son Billy, because there were a few bigger hands that I played. And we'll get your input. So look for those videos to come out also. So I want to tell you guys, thank you for watching my vlog. Thanks to all the people who subscribed at the World Series of Poker. There was a whole bunch, and I really, really appreciate that. Andrew Neeme, Brad Owen, it's great to meet you guys. That was really, really fun, even if it was only 3 or 4 minutes that we chatted. Invite me to a vlogger's game. I will love to go. I can fly for free because my wife works for the airline. So you guys invite me, I'll be there. So press the buttons, which means like, subscribe, tell your friends about Mr. Bill Poker. They'll like it, I promise. And if they don't, they can never watch again. I don't know. Anyhow, we'll see you guys next time with another Mr. Bill Poker vlog. Bye.